big ass Butch knives. Butch knives. I didn't know I loved them until, well, we'll get to that. So, what constitutes a Butch blade? I'm 5'6", so for me, any knife over 8 inches falls into the Butch territory. By Butch, I mean it's masculine. It's tough, it's got swag, it's big, it's like more blade than I, strictly speaking, need. When I first began collecting, I got your average Joe Benchmade, your Kaisers. I got some Italian knives. Pretty much all my blades were under the 3-inch rule. They were under 3 inches. I'd actually had the thought that over 3 inches was simply too much knife for me. So I had all these medium to little guys in my pocket, which I was perfectly happy with them. Until I met this. The ZT. I don't even know what its number is, but it's my favorite, and it is just so Butch. It's got, I guess, not really. I was going to say a tactical blade, but not really. It's got this slight bit of recurve to it. I don't know. I shy away from things labeled tactical, just generally speaking. I'm not into this for weaponry. In fact, if I ever got held up and I had a knife in my pocket, the best I could do is throw it at somebody. I'm a lover, not a fighter. In any event, I fell in love with this knife off the proverbial bat right away. It's such a quintessential knife blade. It's just so sexy. This knife is a Butch dandy. It's the kind of guy that likes to pump iron and look buff as hell, but also invests a lot of time and money into the wardrobe, you know what I mean? And maybe some skincare. Well, maybe not skincare, but definitely clothes. Now, where is it? Oh, it's probably in my pocket. The GiantMouse Ace Grand is an interesting version of a Butch knife. It's almost textbook lesbian, Butch lesbian, I think. It's big, it's tough, it's got this surprisingly sexy contoured spine that the Italians like to do, Otherwise, it's pretty much your straightforward utilitarian clip. I was going to say clip joint, but clip point. Clip joint, clip point. The fact that it has natural micarta is what makes it really lesbianic to me. Like a dyke that's kind of behind fashion a little bit, but always looks neat and clean. You know what I'm talking about? Like a lesbian that wears cargo pants and button-downs all the time. Butch. By the way, I can say dyke because for 30 years I identified as one. So put your pretend shock back in your mouth. You thought you were going to get me, queer police, didn't you? Ha, ha, ha. Ah! So, that's the Ace Grand. I love this knife. Great weight, great ergonomics, incredible action. Just a fantastic work knife. Since we're going down the list of knives I adore, let's look at the wee Praxis. What a fucking knife this is. I freaking love this knife. It's, even though its bossy handle sort of forces your fingers into conforming into a certain shape, it's still really ergonomic and feels great in the hand. Its swooping belly makes it a great cutter, and its primer, gray blasted aesthetic just gives me the chills. It's so beautiful. It's just delicious. This is my post-apocalypse dystopian knife. It's, to me, unusually flat. But that's part of its charm. It's just a unique blade that you can't really describe. You just have to hold it. Now, This is a Butch blade that I got because it looked so cool in the pictures. It looked like I'd maybe found another strong and sexy Butch blade like the ZT. A heavy, dapper, confident concept blade. You know, I like a lot of concepts designs, but some of them are really out there. So, but I took a gamble on it. They're pretty much hit and miss for me. It was on sale, of course. Well, it's a big-ass Butch knife, all right. It's actually pretty comfortable, especially if you choke up on the choil. I don't care for the opening design. It's harder to get at than it should be, but otherwise, it's okay. Now, this one is really too big for my taste. It's just cumbersome. At the end of the long day, I am still a little guy, and this size knife is just ridiculous in my little hands. I'm selling it if anyone's interested. By the way, I did sell the extra mini Paragon by Kaiser, so it's gone to a better home with somebody who will love it and treat it well, and honestly, I feel that's important. I want my blades to be unimpeachable, unimaginable to sell or trade, right? All my blades I just want to love them. Some other fantastic knives that fall under the Butch rubric are the Tuya Caladan. A very sleek, unique aesthetic that really appeals to me. It's a well-machined blade like all Tuya knives. It's so handsome, but there's only one way to open it. It's a Butch Gents blade. LTK Rezult, which to me has some kind of tactical army vibe. It's not a pretty knife, but it's got its own unique aesthetic, and that appeals to me. It's a thick chunk of lean, muscled titanium. So it's kind of like an outdoorsy Butch, like definitely like maybe a women's soccer league player. Megan Rapinoe kind of vibes. Here's some runners-up. The Spyderco Tenacious. Basically, a baby Butch blade. The Kaiser Export. Where'd you go? Here you are. Kaiser Export. Definitely a baby Butch. Butch in the streets, knife in the sheets. Also, this new Kaiser Brat. And definitely this, where is it? This custom knife, which I am also selling. It was hand rubbed by a genuine transphobe, which is not why I'm selling it. I just don't love it. It is a very nice knife, however. It's super well built, all hand rubbed, blah, really great. So, from all of my former Butch self to you, lots of love. Find the blade that fits you. Clean your room. I love you. I'll see you next week.